you're watching today. This is Kinnear. Welcome back to another Starfield New Game Plus video. This is really just a speed run. Well, maybe not a speed run, but I'm going to collect 6 Starborn powers from artifacts I have in my possession. For each artifact, I'm going to go to the eye, identify a temple location, and then upgrade that power doing the sparkle chase you have to do inside the temple. As you've come to expect, I couldn't just go do that. I had to time it, put it in a spreadsheet, and calculate the averages. If you're dreading the process of upgrading your star powers, maybe this will convince you it won't be that bad. Or maybe it'll convince you this is going to be horrible and this is the last thing you ever want to do. Either way, let's get started. For the first one, I'm just going straight to the eye, and we're going to read the data on the table. Since we're in an alternate universe, Vlad isn't present, and we don't have to talk to him in order to get this process done. That's actually a pretty good thing. We just have to go to the eye each time and read the table. I will be speeding this up and skipping through the vast majority of these. There's no point in watching me run to temples, because I'm going to tell you how long it took at the end. I did set myself up with Grav Dash and another star power, Phase Time, both of which will be useful through this process. In addition, after seeing the sparkle chase inside of a temple once, I'm not going to run through that at normal speed. So first we Grav Dash up to the table, we read it, and we're going to Vessel 3B, and we Grav Dash right back to the door, hit the R button, go straight to the cockpit, undock, and leave. We could probably save ourselves 4 or 5 seconds each time if we had more points of grab. Ignore the ship, ignore the ship, ignore the ship. Just go to the planet. If you need a one-time reminder, you just open up your scanner and you look around in different directions and wait for the little distortions on the ring around the scanner. The more distortions you get, the more likely you are headed in the right direction. You will see the small circular icons in the distance. Those are typically anomalies. One of them is going to be the temple. And so we'll just Grav Dash from here as much as we can and run when we can't. You could also use AMP. From the time I went to the eye, it took 4 minutes and 40 seconds to get to the door of this temple. I always set myself up with phase time right before I go in the temple and make sure I have a weapon ready. Because when we come out, we might have a Starborn to fight. I had to catch 6 sparkles in this temple before the center ring opened up and I could pass through it. And when I arrived outside, there was no Starborn to fight. Power from Beyond updates in the top left-hand corner. Open up your quests. Use the set destination marker. Go straight back to the eye. At the second temple on Piazzi 4C, I also received a notification that there was another temple on Piazzi 6C. So for that one, I didn't have to go back to the eye. That happened one time out of 6. When I did the temple on Piazzi 6C, there was a Starborn waiting outside that I had to fight. Since I didn't have to go to the eye to get to this temple, this turned out to be the fastest temple of the group. So out of 6, this one was completed in under 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 51 seconds, even though there was a Starborn to kill at the end. At the 4th temple, when I arrived at the planet, there was a battle taking place between Spacers and a Freestar Collective. Since everyone was hostile, I had to participate in the battle, make sure everything was killed, and then I went straight back down to the surface without collecting a reward or talking to the Freestar Collective. The last 2 temples weren't particularly interesting. Standard, straightforward, run to the temple, run inside, catch all the sparkles, come back outside. There were no space battles in orbit, and there were no Starborn outside. So in the end, out of 6 temples that I visited, only one of them had a Starborn outside to fight. One of them had an event in space, a battle that I had to get through. Out of the 6 temples, 5 of them I had to identify at the eye, one of which was in a system with another temple. So that one was identified for me. The total actual time to complete 6 temples is in the spreadsheet on the screen, was at 34 minutes and 35 seconds. The average time to reach each temple from the time that I was waiting outside the eye, trying to identify which system the temple was on, the average time was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. That's not the time from when I got out of my ship and ran over, that was actually less. The average time to complete each temple from start to finish was 5 minutes and 37 seconds. The longest time was 6 minutes and 49 seconds. There weren't any Starborn or other events there. That was actually the first temple, and maybe that was because the distance to the temple took longer to get there. Maybe I spent more time in the eye. I'm not really sure, but that was the longest. The shortest time was 4 minutes and 51 seconds. That was one that didn't require a trip to the eye. The highest number of sparkles I had to chase inside a temple was 9. The lowest number was 5, so the average was just under 7. I primarily relied on Grav Dash when I was in the eye running to the table and back just to save a few seconds. And then I used it when I was running to the temples as well. You could also use Amp. Before I went into the temple, I made sure I had a weapon and phase time ready so that when I came out of the temple on the other side, if there was a Starborn waiting, I would hit phase time and terminate him quickly. Since one of my goals in each New Game Plus iteration is to upgrade all of my star powers, I know I'm going to have to do this 24 times. The good news is, I can calculate how many hours that's going to take. I can break that up into small chunks of time that aren't going to make me crazy. I did a few temples before I even started this run, and by the time I had gathered the 10 artifacts and I was ready to go to Oborum, I had 6 left, so I thought I'd knock those out. After we complete the fight at the buried temple on Masada, we'll have another 10 artifacts and we'll need to chase those down before we can go through the Unity again if we want to get the full set of 24 artifacts. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to try one more time. Whatever you're trying to do can seem impossible until it's done, so keep at it. Success is closer than you think. Please click that subscribe button and notification bell, and I hope you come back for more. Until next time, this is Kinnear, and I'm out.